Good morning. Let's get into what I'd like to call the life and times of Danny Studstill. And if you don't know who Danny Studstill is, that's me. So, why would this almost 60-year-old guy think that he can get out there and do line form exercises and take the 2 or 3 people that watch these clips and grow it into a movement? Well, I've done it before. Back in the 90s, I worked at a fitness place called Staying Alive Fitness Center in Lake Worth, Florida. And I was earning my black belt from a man named Roy Washington, who you can look up. He'll pull right up. Master Roy Washington. He was the Virgin Islands head coach in the '88 Olympics, and he coached several people to medals in the Pan Am and in the Olympics. His wife, Debbie Washington, was then Debbie Lawyer, and you can look her up. And she won a bronze medal in the '88 Olympics in Olympic-style Taekwondo. So I was earning my black belt from him, and I was teaching the kids class in the afternoon at Staying Alive Fitness Center, teaching Olympic-style Taekwondo. And the next big thing was supposed to be cardio boxing. To make this very quick, there was a lady that was named Carla Kelly, and she was the head aerobics instructor, and they sent her down to Miami to learn this little program. And she was there for 2 or 3 days, and she came back and she went, I can do the step aerobics, but I'm gonna have a problem with the boxing. I need a fighter that can throw punches and knows how to do it right to teach it with. So they asked me, and I said yeah, and we co-taught the class, and it was going very well. It was growing. This was before Tybo, and cardio boxing was supposed to be the next big thing, and it was going to come out of Miami. They had a spokesman and everything, and we taught that class for 2 or 3 months, and it was big, and she was the main draw. And then I would take over whenever it came to the punching and do proper form and everything. And Carla ended up blowing out her Achilles tendon. So I am not a step aerobics teacher. I'm terrible at it. And I would go off to the side whenever they did the step aerobics. And so they're like, well, you're going to have to teach class, do the best you can. So I got in there, and I just could not lead the step aerobics because I had no interest in it, and I was terrible at it. And the students were leaving the class, and I went, look, I'll give you a great exercise. You're going to get a great workout. We're going to take these and we're going to put them off to the side. Just follow along with me. And I started putting in blocks, and I started putting in kicks, and cardio boxing was born on that day. Well, I lost the majority of the people that were wanting to do the boxing with the step aerobics. And I had one little lady that stuck with me, and her name was Angela. And Angela was a little redheaded woman, bubbly personality from Wales. And she thought that what I was coming up with was just fantastic. And she was talking to me about it. You know, do you think that they're going to shut it down? I said, well, Angela, I said, if I don't have the numbers in the class, they're not going to keep the class open. They'll bring it back whenever Carla comes back from her Achilles tendon surgery, and we'll go right back to cardio boxing with the step aerobics. And she's like, I don't like that. I like what you're doing. And I said, well, we got to get people in the class. So she was going out, she was getting people off of the treadmills and out of the weight stacks and off of the equipment and bringing them into class. It's you'll get a great, it's a way to get fit. And she was my greatest salesman. It's like that video where you got this one nut and they're up dancing, right? And then this other person comes along and they think it's great, and they start teaching people to do it, and they're bringing and then the whole crowd starts doing it. All right, but it took the lone nut to do it, and then a supporter. She was my supporter. So I'm looking for one or two people that are like Angela, that are going to tell their friends, that are going to like and share the videos. And just 5 minutes a day is not going to get you in shape, but 5 minutes a day is going to get your blood moving. And then maybe you'll get more steps in. Maybe you'll go for a hike. Maybe you'll go to the zoo. Maybe you'll go to the gym. It's a great way to go ahead and get your day started. And if you're a trucker, then whenever you stop for gas, it's not going to take a lot of your time. You're going to go in, you're going to go to the bathroom, you're going to take a shower. You take 5 minutes, you do it every time you stop. You're sitting all day, brother. It's something. Something's better than nothing. And you don't look like a Nancy boy doing it. It's all good punches. You got this from old style boxing and from Wing Chun. You've got this from Western style boxing, and you've got this from karate. And then the blocks are all full on blocks, and they'll work in certain situations. So my favorite person, Angela, as it relates to my cardio kickboxing class, as it would happen, I could not get her into Taekwondo. She liked cardio kickboxing. She was there every class. And one day, she comes in, and she was a hairdresser. And this is the 90s. So she comes in with two guys that looked like they were extras right out of the Birdcage with Robin Williams and Nathan Lane. And I'm like, what's going on, Angela? And she's like, Danny, I got to tell you. She said, I was taking the drop from the hair salon to the bank. And I got out there, and this guy tried to take my purse. And she said, and these are my employers. They own the hair salon, and I'm going to let them tell you the story. So, the one guy walks up, and they're obviously gay. And I introduced myself. He introduces himself, can't remember his name, only met him once, him and the other guy. And they start telling me this story. And one guy's saying thing and the other guy's filling in, and it was very entertaining to watch. And I can't do justice of what they did to tell the story. But apparently, I'll tell it the way that I tell it. Angela walked out to her car, and she was fiddling with the key, and she had her purse on her shoulder. And this guy reached over and grabbed her purse and tried to pull it off of her. And whenever he did, she turned around and immediately hit him with a 1, 2, and then took the right leg 3 combination and caught him in the head and knocked him down. And then they did a perfect reproduction of what she did. Apparently, she threw her hands up in the air with the purse and went, and they came running out, collected this guy, and held him until the cops got there. Now, I didn't see pictures. Cell phones didn't have cameras back then, and very few people had cell phones. I didn't have a cell phone back then. But anyway, no pictures or anything, but they told me that he had a black eye, and he was pretty well messed up. Whenever the cops got there, she popped him in the nose, and he was bleeding out of his nose. So this cat was knocked down by about a 5'3" redheaded Welsh woman, and he was held by 2 gay guys until the sheriffs got there and arrested him for assault and for trying to go ahead and mug her, and took him off. I am sure that his story was totally different whenever he got to the jail about how he got messed up. Anyway, Angela, if you're out there, or if anybody knows Angela, she lived in Lake Worth, Florida at the time, please tell her that I said hi. Have her check out my videos, and have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Oh, remember, it's like Tai Chi, but it's simple enough to do. It's for men, and ladies like it too.